The big three U.S. airlines are starting to roll out their answer to the discount airlines. They call it basic economy fares. The basic part means middle seats, no carry-ons, and extra fees. But experts say those fares are not as cheap as you think, and they're just another way to squeeze your wallet. Edward Pizzarello, travel expert and blogger at Pizza in Motion. Great having you here, sir. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me back.
All right, United, Delta, American, they're not doing this for charity.
They're not. These are the same fares that we used to have a couple of months ago. They're labeled differently, and they come with less toys, less benefits.
Give me an example. So now you always have to pay for check bags.
Always have to pay for check bags. It's been a while. But American and United have gone so far as to say you can't take a carry-on bag anymore. You can have a small personal item as long as it fits under the seat in front of you. You're not going to get an advanced seat assignment.
Okay, well, but American and Delta and United say, look, Spirit Airlines, in which basically you pay and you get a seat and a seat belt, everything else is extra. We're competing against them. Why shouldn't we cut all of our services?
Well, they've been competing with Spirit and Frontier for years, but they're changing the end product that they're giving the consumer. It's almost like you going to your local coffee shop for your daily cup of joe, and today they say, that's great, here's your cup of coffee, but we're not going to give you the cup.
Well, or maybe we won't give you a lid. You're still going to get there on time. At some level, though, has the American public sort of grown to love to hate airlines? It's a pretty amazing service. Like for a couple $100, you show up at the airport, and in a steel tube, you're going to end up on the other side of the country for $200. There's a lot to be happy about.
There's a lot to be happy about. It's also easy to hate the airlines the way they are now, but in the end, they are taking away things that they used to give you for free. And there is a line there. You can say that they unbundled check bags because everybody doesn't need to check a bag, and you could take that forward and say, well, maybe everybody doesn't need a carry-on. But at some point when you're taking away things like a sip of water or a comfortable seat, where is that line before it's too much for that price?
Well, isn't that what the consumer decides? If consumers decide that there's too much has been taken away for the price, they'll go to another airline.
The problem is what other airline is there now? Because almost everybody has adopted this strategy.
So is the answer more regulation? I'm confused. Where does this go? If we don't rely on sort of economics to fix it, and do we rely on the government to regulate it?
I'd be reluctant to have the government regulate it.
So what do you want to do? Just complain?
I'd love to see more competition, and that's where people like Southwest come in. I mean, they've got a great model. Your check bags are free. You can pick any seat on the plane. It doesn't mean they're going to offer everything everybody else is going to offer, but there is a model to make money and give customers benefits.
Okay, so what is if the Southwest model makes money and customers universally seem to sort of appreciate Southwest, why don't American, United, and Delta adopt that? What's the missing link here?
It's a good question. I think part of it is just the legacy structure. They've been doing something so long that they expect that they can pivot, and a great number of their customers will carry on and be okay with what essentially is a $20 or $30 fare increase for every ticket that we're buying.
It's been a tough time for the airlines, though. You think about it, the United passengers getting dragged off, Delta denying boarding to people. I haven't heard of an American horror story lately. I think United sent somebody's pet somewhere wrong. But it's just a matter of time before this happens.
It is. American had one recently, too. They've all had. I mean, I would say you'll see it less on an airline like Southwest or JetBlue. I think part of that are the happier crews. But, yeah, I mean, we've seen horror stories on pretty much all the big three carriers at some point in the last few months. Customers really aren't happy.
Well, and especially this one guy on Twitter, we asked everyone to send in their airline horror stories, hashtag airline horror story. Somebody tweeted back, I once had to sit next to an @Fox News reporter for a long flight home. Alan, if it was me, I apologize. That's all I can do. Edward, it's great having you here. Thanks so much. Come back and talk to us when it gets worse, because it will.
Thanks again.
All right. Good to see you.